line of to-do list of the new government, covering all households with insurance. And that makes our topic for this session, which is insurance coverage for all households. We also have a special address of Mr. Rajgopal Dev. It's reaching shortly, so we can have his special address after this session. So to start with this session, I now invite our speakers on stage. I'll start with the moderator, Mr. Mohammad Riaz, Chief Operating Officer, Basics. A round of applause for Mr. Riaz. Then I invite Mr. Rishi Raj Singh, AVP CSC E-Governance Services Limited. So you are welcome on stage. Then we have with us Mr. Sudhir Singh, National Health Zone Operations, Tata AIG. Sir, I request you to join us on stage. Mr. Sudhir Singh is on. And last but not the least, I invite Mr. Suresh Sugathan, Head Health Insurance, Bajaj Allianz General Insurance. I asked my teammates to call Mr. Sudhir Singh. So maybe we'll have Mr. Sudhir Singh shortly with us.
Good afternoon, everybody. And as much as I'm all sure that you people will be also pleasantly surprised that we just have 3 speakers over here, and we should wrap this up pretty quickly and won't take too much of our time. But the topic is important. It's important because it is to do with protection. There is a lot which is being said about banking, and insurance goes hand in hand in terms of protecting the economy, not just people's life, but actually the GDP of a country. If there is any economic loss to an asset or to a person, it gets replaced with insurance. So that's the role that potentially insurance has to play. And I represent an organization called Basics, which works with the poorer section of society. And what the Government of India is attempting to do today, we've been trying to attempt this for the past 16, 17 years. Basics was basically a pioneer in microinsurance. They developed the concept in 2002. I still remember at that time there were only 3 customers who were insured under the microinsurance product through a partner of Basics. And I used to work in that partner company. And from then till now, there are about 45 to 55 million people who get covered under different schemes of microinsurance to the microfinance companies. So much so that it has really become a part of the product. So today, any microfinance company trying to offer a credit without insurance, they don't have takers. Customers insist on insurance. Now, that's the kind of impact that can happen as far as insurance is concerned. But before I proceed further and give you a little more about why and how insurance can be delivered to all the households of the country, I would rather take the opportunity right now to call Rishira to talk about something very fundamental change which the regulator has brought in the way insurance will be delivered in rural India. So,
thank you, Riaz. Hello. Thank you, Riaz. Thank you for this opportunity of sharing and talking about insurance, currently under change, right? And I'm actually fortunate enough to be a part of this change. I represent a company which is CSC Governance Services. We are a kind of a front end for a lot of government to citizen-centric services in the rural areas. Recently, it's been almost a year now that we started talking to the regulator, which is IRDA. And if you are familiar with the structure of insurance, so you know that there are agents who work. Okay, so most of us actually interact with agents, and then there's a structure which is called as corporate agency, and there's also a structure which is known as broker. And since some of you are also from banking, so bank insurance is also one of the same kind of channels which basically prevail. Recently, on 3rd September 2013, the regulator, IRDA, also actually rolled up guidelines which was specific to CSC. CSC, since it's been working as a front end for all these services that I just spoke about, so a lot of G2C services, government to citizen centric services that we offer. Since we have the reach, we have 1,40,000 centers currently operational and doing n number of activities, probably caste certificate, birth certificate, income certificate, all such kind of services that we offer from the CSC center. Under the financial inclusion, we are into banking correspondent activity that we do, a lot of activity. In last 1 year, we have also started insurance. And since I am also a principal officer for the same insurance piece, when I started discussing with insurance companies, I was surprised to know that many companies actually have their brand names, right, big brand names. But if you go to, if you talk about their branches, right, so probably they have 5,000, 6,000 branches per family. And if you ask them whether you have branches in Northeast or something of that sort, right? They will say we have one branch, okay, in the state headquarters, okay, that's it. And what about the penetration? Okay. So when we started discussing with them, the whole issue was since if you look at the population of India, right, so approximately 70% of population stay in rural India, and all of them require insurance. Okay, it's not that those who are staying in urban or semi-urban areas they require insurance. And how to reach them? So we devised a mechanism. We basically created a business model. Okay? And basis the discussions that we had, the regulator and all that, right? There was a model which was created. There was a guideline which was issued by IRDA. Okay? And for the first time in the history of India, a model which has been created wherein servicing is also done by the center. Okay? Not only sales. So somebody has a, let's say, claim, intimation of claim, or change in nomination, or endorsement, okay, whether it's a financial endorsement, non-financial endorsement. So whatever that a customer requires, okay, that is happening through the CSC channel. This piece was launched on 6th August 2014. Chairman IRDA himself inaugurated. And I was fortunate enough on 28th of last month, I was able to present that piece to Prime Minister of India. Right? And I'm surprised to see that in 3 minutes, okay, in 3 minutes, from application to delivery of policy bonds happen in 3 minutes through CSC channel. And that's the kind of change that CSC has actually brought to this society. If we look at, since we also started doing a lot of servicing related activities, okay, in last 1 year, since we have enabled a lot of those centers, okay, these centers are operated by a person who's called as VLE, village level entrepreneur. If I look at the average of what they do, right, so probably if all 1,40,000 centers are able to basically transact or collect renewals for just a company like LIC, so we will be contributing almost around 1,000 crores, right? So in the coming year, every year. I'm just talking about one insurance company, right? So there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of activity that's going on, okay, and a lot of initiatives which the regulator himself is actually taking in order to ease the process so that people can go to these centers, they can apply online, okay, and they can get the delivery of service right within there. So that's
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. For those who are from the industry and know IRDA as a regulator, to expect IRDA to have broking regulations specifically for rural markets, allowing sub-broking through a village level entrepreneur, delivery of insurance online without a physical document is all path-breaking, ladies and gentlemen. And it has been possible because of the fact that the regulator clearly sees the need to make penetration of the insurance possible in nooks and corners of the country. As much as Prime Minister's Jan Dhan Yojana talks about taking a bank account of financial inclusion to every household, piggybacking it with an insurance product, which is an accidental insurance right now, and maybe a good policy from LIC for 30,000 sum assured going forward, might actually do our job, of taking insurance to all the households in India. So that's what we're talking of, and the insurance is really going, piggybacking a banking product. But has it really gone? And that's the question I would like to ask. Before coming on the dais over here, I just wanted to recheck my information because I've led the industry 4 years back, and I just wanted to recheck the information that whether for an accidental insurance, because 4 years back was true and it is true now, what's the claim process? Ladies and gentlemen, the proof of the pudding is in eating. An FIR is mandatory for accidental death insurance. 1 lakh covered, all households covered under this policy. Will customers really get their claims? You have gone to the remotest of the country and insured a person. People in India die, and they really die in large numbers because we are a country of large population also. And they die, a lot of them die due to snake bites. That's been our experience, which is an accident. How far is the police station and how interested is the policeman interested to write an FIR for a death? Now, I will leave this problem up to the industry and to the DFS and to the regulator to design process changes so that a deserving claim is not rejected. But if we let claims happen, then only this business would be successful, and the concept of people coming and buying insurance will become a reality. We might say that to reach rural markets, you need to have affordability, size, price, everything is nice. If a sachet, which has become such a popular thing in terms of penetration and given as an example in every management school as to the best strategy to go to the bottom of the pyramid, if it does not have enough good quality shampoo in it to clean your hair, would anybody buy it? The reality of any business is the service that the customer gets from that business. And in insurance, there is only one service that needs to be provided, and that is claim service. Besides that, there is a renewal service also. But if claim service, and unfortunately in death, you are not there to ensure that your family is happy. That's the sad part about the insurance business. And even I think at times that my experience, when any of my family member gets hospitalized, I have a health insurance. And the amount of time that it takes for the third party guy to settle to the hospital, the endless hours that a patient has to wait is amazing. While I carry a very high ticket size policy, if that is the service given to me, just imagine what would happen to a poor person sitting in one corner of tribal village with a death claim on accident. So it's a very important issue, and this needs to be addressed. If this concept of insurance piggybacking on banking has to create a new market in itself, so that gradually over a period of time people come forward and start insuring their assets in terms of their cattle or their houses or they themselves, or start buying policies which are more representative to when they are alive. LIC that way has done a fairly decent job in making this concept generic. Today, when you want to go and do motor insurance in rural India, they say motorcycle ka LIC hai kya? So that's the thing that LIC has brought. But then insurance is all about protection. saving is a byproduct of insurance, not the main reason for insurance. And one very important thing is health insurance, and I will get Suresh.
I will try to cover health and also other lines of insurance. So, thank you for this opportunity. And also, like what you mentioned, we are only three on the stage, but that doesn't mean that insurance is not an important subject. So today, insurance, as you all know, the last 12 to 13 years, the growth what we have recorded, not only in the health LOB or the line, the other lines are also picking up. The detarification happened in 2007 for motor and other tariff products like property and marine. It happened in 1994. From then till date, I think the business, there is a growth, combined average growth we see around 17%. But as rightly said and pointed out, by the other panelists also, in the banking sector also, we find that the push thing may not work always. So insurance, as we all know, is a subject matter of solicitation. Unlike banking where there is a demand, there is a pull as well. So here what is happening today, we are trying to push the product. We have a one product for all, which may not be the right solution. So in the last 10 years, it has undergone a major change, be it health, be it property, or be it any other line of business, where there is a lot of innovation happening. But yes, the point is when we talk about the inclusive, or including or going to the last mile, are we there? No. That is what we, after this 12 years of privatization, we realized that it's 27 companies, we are still not reached there. I was there in IRB a couple of months back for a review, where they asked us, do you have a branch, like what you pointed out, do you have a branch, how many branches, do you have in northeastern states? Yes, the answer was, we are not present in all the districts. Maybe we have 1 or 2 or 3 offices there. And that is not enough to cater to the entire sector. So, here we have the resources, we have the talent, innovation is happening. I am representing Bajaj Allianz, where we have already introduced the TAP-based solution. We are going to the tier 2 cities now. We have started going to the tier 2, tier 3 cities. But like here, we find that insurance, when we hear the word, it's always like, even in the metros or in the urban areas, people say, Gadi ka LIC kara, Ghar ka LIC kara. So LIC, that term they can equate. But when you talk about GI, nobody knows about the general insurance. Maybe because of the lack of awareness, we are not done enough on the education part. Awareness, whatever is available through media or through the efforts put in by the insurance company, it is there. But people always equate any insurance with death. That is something which we need to now try and educate the customer. It's not just LIC. You can insure your assets, you can insure yourself for accident insurance, you can insure your livestock, cattle, you can insure your fun fruits. As yesterday discussed with my team, I said, can we design something, a product for, like, we talk about so many things, the publicity, the advertisement, what is happening today. And IPL is the best example where something has been created. The same cricket is played there. It's only the 2020 format. But look at the money which they can generate, the advertisement money, the gate money, all those stuffs. But the farmer in the rural area, the 67% of the population which is in the lower strata, the pyramid, base of the pyramid, have we done something there? Have we done some publicity there? Can we ride on their strengths because they are doing something for the country? So can we go to that area, like what I heard from Tushar, I think, from Kotak Mahindra Bank, what they did. Insurance company also can replicate similar things. So this is an example for us which we have done earlier, but now we need to do it more. So inclusiveness is not just by pushing, whether they are utilizing. This is something which we did in Bajaj 3 years back. Bajaj Allianz introduced the wellness program. So it was done for all the customers. Now when we look back today and see, was it new? Yes, it was new at that point of time. But people utilize it. We started offering it free and we are still offering it free to all our customers. But are they valuing? Are they aware of it? So how do we spread that awareness? So we are trying to communicate through all the media, through the internet, through the email IDs, whatever we have, through SMS, and also calling up customers and informing, sending the literature along with the policy. So we believe that rather than the person getting into a hospital for treatment, it is better to show him how we can prevent that, mitigate that. So that is something which we are doing and trying to improve and engage the client throughout. So we always believe that a person, like what you mentioned, the real asset test for any insurance company is when there is a claim, how do you service that? How do you offer it or fulfill the promise what you have committed? Most of the companies today have adopted technology, so the claims processing turnaround time has dropped drastically, but there is a long way to go. So we started talking about why not in our company, if the cashless approval for health takes place in, say, industry, say 6 hours average, 5 hours, we say that we can do it in less than 1 hour. I questioned my team, why can't we do it on the spot? The moment there is a request coming in from hospital, why the customer should send a request in the first place? Can we identify there and there and clear that approval on the spot? Can we empower the hospital? Can I integrate with the hospital systems? So we are trying to do that to some extent, and we have piloted it in a couple of locations, and I believe going forward that is the future. If we do that, yes, trying to use the mobile platform, that is something which we are working, not just for claims, but for premium as well. Can we have like the micro insurance products built in that platform and charge per day rate, per month rate, quarterly, whatever format you want. Take the big ride on that. And then the claimants are usually, it's less than 10%. So the frequency for a claim, health claim, is always less than 10%. On an average, if we take, say, 8 to 9%. So even if you assume 10%, the remaining 90% customers, they don't claim. So with that objective, that thing in mind, we introduced this wellness. We believe that if 90% people are not contacting us because they do not have a claim, how do I engage them? And that is where we introduced this value-added services. We introduced the wellness program and said that we started contacting you. You can avail this facility at any of our tie-up centers, diagnostic center. You can contact us for any camps. You want free, discounted rate medicines, pharmacy. You can go to a website and contact the right person or make the payment and get that thing delivered at your home at a discounted rate. So all these things we have brought under this wellness umbrella and try to cater to the 90% of the population, insured population for health, who is not claiming at all. So 10% of the population who will try to give the best service, high standard service, and also catering to the 90%. So this is something which I believe maybe an inclusiveness at a level which is maybe today it looks at the metro and the tier 2 level, but we would like to go to the last mile going forward.
Thank you, sir. And indeed, there's a lot of work, all due respect to insurance companies, which is undergoing, primarily because there is something new which has happened in India in insurance business for the last decade. There is competition which is coming. So the competition is bringing benefits of good products, good servicing to the customers, and it is the upper bracket of the society which is being benefited with it. As we go along, I am sure sooner or later the bottom bracket of the society will also be benefited by the competition, and CSC SPV as a broking model might be the first step in that direction. However, I would like to now engage with you on a thought process that keeps coming to me always when you say about financial inclusion. As far as banking is concerned, we say that until there is no money being pumped into that bank account of a customer, the bank account is going to be dormant. So actually there is no need for a banking for a poor customer. You know, there might be a need for the economy, it might be a need for the country as a whole, but from the customer's perspective, does he really have a need? You're creating the need and gradually he feels the benefit of it. But as far as insurance is concerned, I don't know how many of you are aware that every poor household insures themselves in one way or the other. The livestock that they keep with them, the fact that the lady keeps money in her small savings in her sari or in a utensil, or the coconut trees which are bought in Kerala. What do these things have to do with insurance? Whenever there is a financial emergency which is related to either health or death, these are the assets which are disposed of for the purpose of generating some immediate cash flow to overcome the financial emergency. The amount of gold that India has actually is a form of insurance in the hand of a lot of families for a bad day. So insurance is a latent demand, ladies and gentlemen, and the insurance companies need to get the right set of claim processes so that people start believing it and at a very low price take the benefit of it, because accidents and a risk event does not happen for all. But if all it happens, even the rich will start feeling very poor. And I'm sure in Srinagar, with all due respect to the tragedy that they were faced over there the poor households, rich households and poor households are all feeling the same. A big loss to their financial asset. Few of them, most of them wouldn't have insurance of house or flood insurance, and they would all be suffering too. Now, look at it from the insurance company's point of view. 140 rupees or 150 rupees is what is the premium they charge for 1 lakh sum assured on accident. One of the biggest problems that the insurance industry faces is fraud on claims. People don't understand the concept of insurance, that a lot of people come together for benefit of few. If everybody starts taking the benefit of insurance, the concept of insurance will die in itself. So, from the industry perspective, it is important that sufficient safeguards and help is given to them in terms of providing them a foolproof claim. And how can it be done? Technology, ladies and gentlemen, can even do this. I don't know how many of you are aware that in Delhi today there is something called an e-FIR for car thefts. There are close to about 10,000 cars being stolen every month in Delhi. One of the biggest problems that the insurance companies have, that these car owners come with no FIR at all, because Delhi police is not willing to file an FIR for a car theft or a mobile theft. So today, Delhi police has launched e-FIR, and through e-FIR, a copy of that is sufficient for the insurance company to settle the claims. I foresee a future in not a far distance away, in a very near future, all the health and death records are going to be digitalized, all the hospital records are going to be digitalized. Aadhaar will be a game changer. It will link a lot of people on a lot of platforms in different environments from where you can go and get information. So tomorrow, maybe 3 years or 5 years down the line, if a death happens, let's say in Maharashtra, then the insurance company is able to access through the Aadhaar card the death certificate of that customer and access through the Aadhaar card the bank account of the nominee, and then settle the claim in a far quicker time frame than what it can do today. E-governance indeed is an economic changer. It's an economic multiplier, and what is happening around us in terms of financial inclusion and e-governance and technology, all this will enable our country to grow faster, better, and insurance claims to be settled in a much more fraudless environment. If Rishi has something to say, definitely.
In fact, I used to wonder when we travel on the roads and we see a lot of police guys actually stopping vehicles, especially two-wheelers. I used to wonder why they only stop two-wheelers. Okay, why not four-wheelers? And then when I was discussing with insurance company, and it actually this insight, okay, related to insurance and what Riyaz was mentioning, it all came when we understand or when we interact with people. So they told that most of these vehicles, okay, those fly on the roads, right? They don't have insurance, okay, which is a very actually dangerous situation for the person who's driving that vehicle. Reason, if let's say this guy goes and bangs with somebody, okay, and there's a third party liability, okay, and that third party liability is a major liability, okay. So understand the situation wherein almost 50 to 60% of vehicles that are plying on the roads, they don't have any third party liability insurance, which is a major cause of concern for the government, okay, probably all because of the reason, because if these vehicles hit somebody, okay, and that guy who has actually done that accident is not able to reimburse or is not able to pay that money, okay, just to take care of that liability. So that's a challenge. So recently IRD, what they did was that since if you will go to any insurance agent and if you ask them that and most of us, right, so since I have a two-wheeler, I have a scooter which I bought in 1996, okay, and if I want to insure it, I will not go for a comprehensive insurance because that's expensive. I don't drive it, okay, and I will say that I want a third party, but insurance agent will never give you a third party insurance. So that's a challenge. Okay? People are looking for third party insurance, but nobody is going to give it. I was, since I'm interacting with the insurance company, so I came to know that the insurance company said that it's a loss-making proposition. Okay. A third-party insurance, pure third-party insurance, is a loss-making proposition. But it is no fault of a customer who's wanting to buy it. So recently IRDA has also given out a product guideline wherein it says that anybody who has a requirement of pure third-party motor liability, they can go to any CSC center. Any CSC center meaning any government service delivery outlet, okay, which is considered to be a CSC, Common Service Center. And you can get these motor third-party policies. Hardly 500, 600 rupees for a two-wheeler that you have. I think with the kind of change which is happening now, and then the changes that Riyaz was mentioning about and my friend Dice was talking about, I think insurance is going to a new phase, and with the kind of technology which is coming up, eKYC has already started. Okay. We started with the eKYC sales, the first policy started with us. Okay. 3 minutes, it's done. I think with the kind of technology involvement, repository, insurance e-repository is one more thing which IRDA has started. And all of us, right, doesn't require a physical copy of a policy bond. So just like a share demat form, okay, you will also have a policy in a demat form. And it has already started. So probably in 5-6 months time, all of us sitting in this room will have all this. So good things happening in insurance, and which is good for the country, for the customer, and for the overall society. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
That I think DMAT, we were involved in the initial phase, the discussion phase. For life, I think it was already introduced. For example, GI, we are planning to do it in the next 1 year, 2 years time. As far as the insurance awareness, you were just on that point. The third-party insurance, the wealth or property. Today, we draw news paper. You open any page, basically you will find a lot of houses getting burgled or theft cases getting reported, chain snatching, etc. So today you can cover all these things under this policies, this insurance GI business started in India. So we can cover these under a householder policy or a property or risk insurance. So you get a cover for your valuables, you get cover for your equipments, electronic items, portable items, mobile included. So all these things can be covered. So, and the premium would be not more than 2 or 3,000. If you include jewelry and all, it may go up to 4 or 5,000 rupees. But against that, you are covering value which will be in lakhs of rupees. And if there is one theft or one burglary or a fire, the entire property will be devastated, and the exposure would be more than what you have earned, whatever you have saved and whatever you have borrowed is there in the form of an asset, would get damaged in a fraction of a second or a few hours. So how do you recover? You do not have an insurance. So insurance is going to help you that junction. And also in health, today in India 60% of the people, the expenses are out of pocket expenses. See, even if you are covered, it is under insurance. You are not adequately covered. You would have seen that Irfan Khan's ad, Chota Chhatri, that small, Chota umbrella, so Chota Kar. It's like that. So what is your requirement? So we need to identify what is, okay, fine, I am in this strata, and my earning is this much, my income is this much, my family size is this much. At least I need to have a cover which will take care, which is adequate, and in the event of any eventuality. See, that is something which we Indians are not comfortable thinking of. That is not the way we look at our future. So at least for the family, we should be covered fully, and that fully means adequate. You need neither be over-insured, neither be under-insured. If you are adequately covered, you will get adequate. Today, if you go to a bank, customer will always say insurance company doesn't pay the full claim. So we have found that whatever is the outstanding loan, on that the insurance is taken by the client. Or maybe he says, I'm okay with that insurance. But then what happens? Tomorrow, the insurance company, for a property insurance, they may apply under insurance. Because your value in the market is 1 lakh, you are insured for 50,000. In the event of a claim, you will get 50% of it. You will never get the full value, full claim. So you always feel that insurance company has cheated. So these things can be corrected only through awareness, through education, and this has to be continuous. And this effort will have to be put in by the insurance company. A lot of things have happened. IRDA is taking a lot of interest, and they are asking all of us to get involved in that. And through continuous education and engagement, we should spread this awareness. Maybe with the technology thing, education piece can also go online. And maybe in the next 2 years or 3 years, we will see a lot of things happening on the insurance front with the universal health scheme. The discussion is still on. Maybe from the RSBI, we will have one scheme which will take care of entire Indian population that is currently under discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we would call the session and end and give you all people to go and have your tea. In case anybody has any questions, you're more than welcome to ask.
I'm from the healthcare sector. You might be wondering how financial inclusion is possible. Okay. The first aspect is I think you spoke about how to communicate with the police when an accident happens, FIR. So what we have done is, whenever there is an accident case that comes in, we call the police station and take the buckle number of the police to whom we have informed. So what happens is our responsibility is over. We continue with the treat. So this has saved the lives of the people. The second one is, say for example, the lower strata of the society are able to, that is bottom of the pyramid, they are able to somehow approach the government funding that is available, or some trust or somebody is supported. The top level is taken care by the insurance or by their own self. The people who are in the middle, so what we thought is, somebody is having a heart surgery, 3 lakh rupees is the thing. He might be earning 50,000-60,000 rupees. Then nobody is going to support him. So we have introduced EMI payment. If you can purchase mobile, laptop on EMI, why not healthcare? So this is the second one. And then when we go into the rural areas, when we provide free service, we think that we are providing free service. Somebody comes from the rural area, comes and asks us, can I have a surgery done for a cataract or for any other kind of disease at a higher cost? I would like to have a specialized treatment. So we try and cover our costs and provide it. So what happens is financial inclusion, by giving the service to them, you are also automatically getting benefit. So there are the change has to happen in the individual organizations. Then probably it can be taken to a different level.
Thank you. And I completely agree with you. Any change will happen through innovations, and innovation will happen through conversion. And also, change can also happen if responsible people in private sector and in the organization take step forward to do it as a personal agenda and as a contribution to the society. It's not always about making money. Today I know for sure that if microinsurance is grown to the level that it is grown through the MFIs, it is grown because there are some individuals in the industry, in the insurance industry, who have taken steps within their company to change the mindsets of the management. For we all belong to the urban cities. We all are used to termination office. Very few of us have even seen and gone to villages and seen how does the customer really live. So it's the responsibility of all of us to always try and think differently and bring that change within our organizations to service the larger community. And if Narendra Modi goes on stage and says that from the Red Fort that if India has to build itself, all the 123 crore people have to take one step forward. And I think he is absolutely right. That is what India needs. And I think through all these exercises, insurance will definitely one day be available in all the households and people will take it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for such an intense discussion on insurance coverage. Now I request Mr. Mohammad Riaz to present mementos to the speakers. To start with Mr. Rishi Raj Singh, AVP CSE E-Governance Services Limited. A round of applause for the speakers. Mr. Suresh Subithan, Head Health Insurance, Bajaj Alliance General Insurance. I request Rishi Raj Singh sir to please present a memento to Mr. Riaz. And then I request for a group photo with the speaker memento.